Hello my wonderful viewers and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Overanalyzes. Today we're going to take another look at Kaiju number 8 at a broad pattern I've seen growing across the series. I'm not going to bury the lead. There will be spoilers all the way up through chapter, what was the latest chapter, 64? Anyway, you have been warned. But to give you time to click away, I'll tell you to go check out the links below the video to get a copy of my book, Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data, a collection of short stories on the absurdity of human nature. Now, what are we talking about? Not to bury the lead, somehow, one way or another, Hikari Shinomiya, Kikoru's mother, the wife of the General Director Iso Shinomiya, is tying into more and more of the main cast. Now, what do I mean by that, and what does this mean going forward? Well, you may have seen my other video about the Sleeping Queen, where I posited that because we didn't see the body, because number 9 is so fishy, because number 6 was almost certainly a product of number 9 looking back, it's quite possible that Hikari Shinomiya, at least part of her, might still be alive, that she might not be as dead as we thought she was. Why do I say this? 1, we didn't see the body, and we all know what that means in shonen manga. 2, if Hikari Shinomiya was absorbed by number 9, if they never found the body, if they presumed the body destroyed, then it's possible that her memories, her thoughts, perhaps even part of her will was preserved. Now, where did this come from? The first thought I got this was from Kafka's relationship with Kikoru and Iso, and from Matsumoto's well-known habit of hiding major plot points behind common shonen tropes. Now, it's a super common shonen trope for the main character of a shonen manga to basically be super friendly with everybody. You have, in this case, you have Kafka immediately and instantly befriending Kikoru, taking care of her, being really relieved that she's safe. Now, he's an older student in the group, a mentor figure to her from the very beginning, so even though she's outperforming him, it was no surprise to anyone that he immediately rushed to her rescue when she was being attacked by the revived kaiju during the Tachikawa base entry examination arc. And it was no surprise to anyone, we didn't think about it, that the mangaka devoted an entire panel to him just smiling at her and telling her that he was really glad she was safe. Something that artistically mirrors the same thing her mom said to her. This draws a strong line of connection between Kafka, Haibano, and Hikari Shinomiya, but we never even thought about it like that because, hey, he's just the manga protagonist. He has formed a friendship with this younger member of his team, and he wants to take care of her. What really stuck out, though, was when he had nearly the exact same reaction to General Director Shinomiya. Even with a prime shonen main character, it's much less likely for him to form that same emotional connection, that sense of protectiveness for someone who's so much more older than him, someone who's so much more powerful than him. So that one was unusual. Again, when Kafka wakes up after battling Director General Shinomiya during his Proving Himself arc, his first response is a profound emotional reaction of relief that Director General Shinomiya is safe, because he couldn't have faced Kikoru if anything had happened to the Director General. Again, not a super unusual sentiment for a manga shonen main character, but in its intensity, yeah, at this point we're looking at something a little bit unusual. Then you have another interesting connection, because there is a connection between Kaiju number 8 and the little guy and Kaiju number 6, namely the color palette. The skin texture, the skin color, the white bone on ebony black scales, that is something strongly shared between Kaiju number 6 and Kaiju number 8. And Kaiju number 6, of course, was the Kaiju that killed Hikari Shinomiya, or that she at the very least mysteriously disappeared fighting. We don't know. So, you have Kafka's profoundly strong emotional attachment to Kikoru and Iso, and Kaiju number 8's visual similarity to Kaiju number 6, and the fact that the little guy who caused all of this was distinctly looking for Kafka. Whether for someone like Kafka or for Kafka specifically, we don't know. But For some reason, that little kaiju was looking for a human like Kafka at the very least. Now, we have been all over this in other videos. Why bring it up again? With the latest chapters, we keep not only getting more and more ties between Hikari Shinomiya and the current generation of rookies, but it was actually lampshaded. So, it was lampshaded when the captain of the 4th Division, Ogata, said, I can't remember exactly what word he used, but he basically says this can't be a coincidence. That, you have Reno, who cells were compatible with Kaiju number 6 when no one else had been, no other member of the Defense Force out of the hundreds, if not thousands, of volunteers who'd gone through, none of them were compatible, but suddenly Reno is. And then you have Iharu, who is a perfect match for Captain Ogata's combat style. Now, this all ties back to Hikari. Hikari was a rookie with Ogata. They were friends growing up. Hikari knows Captain Ogata's fighting style. Then you have Reno, who is compatible with Kaiju number 6. Reno, who was there when the little guy took over Kafka. Reno, who was there when all the weird stuff started happening that led to the formation of Kaiju number 8 in the first place. And you know I've done half a dozen videos on there probably being a connection between Reno and Kaiju number 8. So, where does this all lead me? What if the original connection was between Kaiju number 9, who, remember, can put out spores that change and alter other creatures' bodies, and Hikari Shinomiya? So, here's the theory that I'm putting forward. Hikari Shinomiya goes out to combat Kaiju number 6. Hikari Shinomiya is taken over by her uniform and exhausted, and while she's in that exhausted state, she is consumed and absorbed by the then much weaker Kaiju number 9, who is still hiding and evading. Because remember, Kaiju number 9 was still hiding and concealing his presence from the Defense Force right up until the ant attack, and Kaiju number 9 would not have been revealed, would not have been noticed unless Kaiju number 8 had been there to fight him. Because the first time Kaiju number 8 confronts Kaiju number 9 is on the training ground. If Kaiju number 8 hadn't interfered, Kikoru dies, Kaiju number 9 gets away scot-free. If Kaiju number 8 hadn't been there to interfere when the 3rd Division was fighting the giant fungal Kaiju, Kaiju number 9 kills Reno and Iharu and gets away scot-free. So without the direct intervention of Kaiju number 8, Kaiju number 9 would have still been an unknown factor. So Kaiju number 9 was absolutely an unknown factor way back during the Kaiju number 6 incident. And even if somebody had witnessed even part of the consumption, who knows that they would have even recognized what was going on. So Kaiju number 9 consumes Hikari, but her willpower, her urge to protect, is still there. And this gives her, if this gave Hikari, or the lingering remnants of her will, a path to act, it might have gone like this. Unable to act herself, this Hikari remnant begins to alter people around her, perhaps piggybacking off of Kaiju number 9's actions. This might explain what Reno is. Perhaps Reno was a child who got infected with spores, and that those spores have been altering his behavior. Up till now, I've been kind of thinking, well, maybe that was Kaiju number 9, but what if it's this remnant of Hikari Shinomiya that's driving his actions? That would explain why he seems to be helping humans. Then you have, in this theory, you have Hikari Shinomiya somehow generating the little guy, a creature imprinted with certain directives, even if it doesn't always know exactly how to enact them. So, the little guy, created by Hikari Shinomiya, or the lingering remnant of her will, is sent to look for someone, either Kafka specifically, because, say, Reno had been sent to scout out potential candidates, or just somebody having Kafka's qualities, a strong desire to join the Defense Force, compassion, strength, and maturity. And that's what the little guy was looking for. Then the little guy is specifically sent to protect Hikari Shinomiya. That might explain how Kikoru's voice was able to break through Kaiju number 8's rage during the fight with General Director Shinomiya. And this also might explain, if the little guy was sent to protect people, why it wasn't as dedicated to, say, protecting Director General Shinomiya. For a mother, Most mothers in general will be willing to sacrifice the father if it means protecting the children. That is just one of the facts of most organisms. And that might explain why the little guy wasn't able to recognize Director General Shinomiya as something that needed to be protected as soon as he put on Kaiju number 2 weapon. So you have these elements, all of these threads connecting Hikari Shinomiya to, as far as we know, all of the rookies. She probably has some unknown connection to the military guy and the business icon as well. You have Kaiju number 9's ability to alter life for his purposes. You have these strong connections through Kaiju number 6 back to Hikari. And so there, in a nutshell, is my theory. Kaiju number 9 failed to completely absorb Hikari Shinomiya back during the Kaiju number 6 incident. And this partial failure allowed Hikari Shinomiya to piggyback off of Kaiju number 9's powers and begin altering the world to her own requirements, creating warriors capable of countering Kaiju number 9's. So what do you think? Is there a sleeping queen out there pulling the strings? Is this current batch of super recruits at least partially because a human mother has been granted Kaiju number 9's powers? Hey, leave a comment below telling me what you think. Hit that like and subscribe button, and peace out, my wonderful viewers. Humans are weird. We took a vote, and humans are weird. I have the data. 2 books in a series of human absurdity. Go check out these short story collections. What will our little green friends think of us when we finally do make it to space? Find out the answer in 2 books of human absurdity. Humans are weird, we took a vote, and Humans are weird, I have the data. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, and Google Play.